Good morning, Vietnam! That's a little shout out to Robin Williams. Welcome to the commute. Nothing like starting out the day. It's actually a beautiful day. I started off nice. Did my workout, cold shower. No jogging still. I still got that little bulge in my lower back. Even the chiropractor thinks I injured myself. I just don't know how. It's still there. It hasn't gone away. Guess I should probably pay more attention to it. I have to take better care of myself. Anyway, we're on the road. We're doing good time. A little shout out to Robin Williams. I feel bad. You know, the mental health issues these days are crazy. If you've got things that are messing with you and you ever feel like taking your own life, or the life's not worth living, you know, we should talk. I mean, the world is a beautiful place, has lots to offer. I know there's times you feel so dark, it's so compartmentalized and isolated that there just really isn't anything out there beautiful. There is a lot of beauty in this world, and somehow we just have to find a way to step back and help each other see it. I've got a new calling, so I'm a Mormon, LDS, Latter-day Saint, whatever you want to call it, Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. That's what, you know, the big push is these days. They want you to say Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints instead of Mormon, because Mormon's so confusing. You know, they say you're non-Christian because you're a Mormon. Long story, we can talk about it if you want to. But got a new calling. You always have a calling in the church is where I'm going with this. It's a church led by the people, and you get callings. You never know what it's going to be. You get to say yes or no, but generally you just say yes, just because for me it's a good experience to get outside of myself, outside of my box, get outside of my wheelhouse, doing something I wouldn't otherwise do in most cases. There's a lot of people that won't do service, but you ask them to come do service, you know, they won't do service on their own. Like, they're doing their thing and they don't see the needs of the people, or they just choose not to, you know, fulfill those needs. That's a niche, man. If you can teach a kid how to see an issue and take care of it, or see a need and fill that need, that's a beautiful thing. Teach your children that. But for a lot of people, it's just not natural. It wasn't taught. It's not part of them. So you get these callings and these callings. So my latest one is with the youth again. I mean, I'm 42 years old. I've had lots of these different callings. And sat in my first class with them. You know, it's not my first rodeo, so I've had callings in the youth before. But it's interesting when you see the youth situation, all the stuff they're going through. I've got one young man sitting by me talking about how he doesn't have very many friends, and all the other kids are kind of joking, and you can tell they all buddy a little bit, and maybe he's feeling a little bit sad. And you know, I let him know in my life I don't have a lot of friends. I have a lot of people I might associate with, but there's very few that I call friends. The people that are there for you, would do anything for you, take care of you in your need. Those are real friends, not just people you socialize with and joke around with. And you know, those really are not the friends. So I hope at least everyone has one or two good friends, people you can rely on. But it'll be interesting, be back in that calling. It'll give me another opportunity to try and relax a little bit more. The older I get, the more ornery I get. And I tell my wife I want to grow up and be the ornery old grandpa. I'm kind of serious about that, but kind of not. Even though I'm turning into that, let's say I am turning into the ornery old man. So, but you know, I've got my kid. He's 14 years old. Jake, he's a good kid, man. Everything about when I step back and see what that kid can do. You know, the things he learns so much quicker now. Spend a lot of time teaching him to ask the right questions, to ask educated questions. And you know, you might sit there and think, man, you're just a dick. You almost might say that if you know, saw kind of how we interact. But I do want him to think about something and then come and talk to me. I call it ask an educated question. I believe we all should be asking educated questions, because you should seek and try and figure things out on your own to a certain point. You don't have to beat your head against the wall and do that stuff, but you should at least get up to a certain point and then ask for some assistance. There's people that just like, I don't know, and they throw up their hands, walk away. They're, gonna have such a hard time in life figuring stuff out, because hopefully they've always got someone there that can do everything for them. I don't know, can you do this? And I'm just not cool with that, because I want my kid to be efficient. I want him to, just be like me. If you need something or want something, you just make it happen. You don't have to rely on anybody else or reach out or have the need. In most cases, for help from somebody outside the box. So, but he's a great kid. I mean, talking. Most people would not fly with this, but I mean, he's 14 years old. Got his first cell phone. You know what it is? It's a flip phone. I mean, how many kids would want to show up at school with a flip phone? Doesn't really faze him, man. He's a kid that can rock it, and he can do a really good job with it. It's kind of fun. I think it's dope. It doesn't seem to bother him a bit to have a flip phone versus a smartphone. To be honest though, your kid does not need a smartphone, because he needs to get smart before he's got a smartphone. I mean that in a nice way, man. Everybody's on that little screen so much anyway. Why start them so young? Just recommendation, just thought. And it is possible to be okay with not having technology, or at least delaying it. I mean, I use Instagram for the business type side of things. But when I'm on Instagram, I'm like, holy cow, I hope my kid's not on Instagram. Facebook's pretty clean, pretty legit, but the kids really don't use that these days. It's all the other stuff. It's Instagram. I forget the other one, Snapchat. Sounds ridiculous. Never tried it. Supposedly I got to get in Snapchat for the business, because that's where all the kids are spending their days. It just sounds crazy. In a world that's so chaotic, why add to that chaos and make it so readily accessible to mess with them? Because, I mean, we're talking so many potentially bad things right there every day, all day, in their room, at school, everywhere, man. It is right there in their pockets. It's the mixins of something someone might call trouble. It just might be. So hopefully your kid's solid and can make good choices with that tool, because it is a tool. I mean, tools are useful. You should have a tool for everything. Hopefully your kid knows how to use that tool. Anyway, on another note, picked up another dealer last week. Gray KTM in Springfield, Oregon. Oh my gosh, sending me way back. I haven't thought about Springfield in a long time, and the thing that caught me off guard is when I was thinking about Springfield, I was married and lived in Springfield for a little while. I ended up getting divorced, but when I was up there, totally beautiful, totally enjoyed it, but the environment I was in was so non-copacetic. It was so bad, and I could have gone either way. So you're talking about one of those things in life where I can go after riches and be kind of rich, or I can go back to what I enjoy, which is I don't need to be rich to be happy. And it literally was kind of a situation like that. I had this, person in my life that was like, see all these people, I could buy up all these people. Like talking about how rich he was and how, and he had this business, and I was going to be up there, be part of this business. I was in my early 20s. I could have been set up probably if I would have stayed around and dealt with that hoser. I probably never would have flown though to actually deal with a hoser. Don't you love that? Hoser. Yeah, Springfield. The thing that messed with me the most is that the lifestyle would have been, seriously, I was in Springfield, and I guess I was that close to the St. Anthony's Dunes, and I didn't even know it. How was I living up there that close to something so beautiful and so awesome, and I didn't have a dirt bike, and I wasn't going to the dunes? That's like clue number one that I was in the wrong place, and life was gonna be. Anyway, I made the right choice. Moved back to Utah. said, I don't need to be rich, and I don't need to be. I consider myself a rich man right now. I mean, I make a good salary. I've got all these toys and all this fun stuff. I mean, I wake up with something to look forward to. What else can I really ask for? You know what I mean? My kids are healthy. I'm healthy in the most case, for the most part. I had actually 2 or 3 ER trips this year. I had this, what do they call it? A bursa sac inflammation, something type of inflammation in my elbow, man. It blew up. And I've had some infections before in my life where you're like, yeah, you better get an IV for that. So I knew with what it did, I needed to just go get an IV to get ahead of it. And where else are you gonna go other than the emergency room? So it's totally lame because I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the ER like I'm dying, but I'm not. But it's seriously, I had 2 or 3 trips of just lame stuff like that this year. Must be getting old, seriously. Old. So, you know, wanted to highlight, say thanks to the great KTM. Welcome to the team. Super excited. Your package is on the way. I just dropped it at the post office. It's pretty cool. I make these little displays. Gave him a nice little American flag Doom Whip display for him. Should be dope. And hopefully sales are good. Gotta sell them whips. You know, I guess we can leave it at that. Today, I mean, today's gonna be interesting. It's a Monday. Mondays are always kind of poor. Nothing but everybody wants something done. Senator McCain, I guess, passed away over the weekend. Hope he's in a happy place. And yeah, bright new day. Anyway, I guess there was one other thing. I knew there was something. So back in the original first video with the commute, because I've had other videos, but I went to the commute because I didn't have enough time to generally sit down and cover things. And I wanted to cover something pretty heavy for a long time, and it got pushed and it got pushed. But it was about Davison and Invent Help. And then a gentleman made a comment on Invent Help, that video the other day, about a class action lawsuit against Invent Help. So if you want to go back and revisit that, just for the folks that might be in that market, it is definitely not someplace I go anymore to Invent Help or Davison or these companies that try and help you with your ideas, because I've never necessarily been sold on them. You can go watch my comments and what I think about them there. But yeah, it was interesting to get a comment from somebody pointing out a class action lawsuit with good old Invent Help. So thanks for the comments. Keep on chugging, mother chucker. And you know, drop me some comments. Let me know what you want to chat about. Thanks for rolling with me. I'm about halfway to work on the commute.